Hello and welcome to this webinar that's part of series of our Royal Cyber's webinars on automation and RPA. The topic of our today's webinar is Automate on Autopilot, AI-powered RPA for everyone. I am Asif Hussain, RPA practice head and solution architect at Royal Cyber. For 20 plus years, I am driving business efficiency for my company and customers. So before diving deep, uh, just a little bit at what RPA bot is and what it is not. So RPA is a software robot that can navigate to specific desktop screens, web applications, scrape data from applications, type data into application forms, operate MS Office tools like Excel, email, receive email, create emails, understand. So anything that a human user can operate on a computer, RPA bots can do that. Plus, they can use APIs and other interfaces. So generally, we say that anything that is high in volume and repetitive is best fit for automation through RPA. RPA Autopilot is a new set of AI powered experiences across automation tools such as UiPath and Automation Anywhere. These tools make every user from interns to CEOs more productive. There are multiple uses for RPA Autopilot across the platform, and they help different people in different ways. Some prominent aspects of Autopilot are creating assistants, helping developers, creating apps through easy instructions, creating testing scenarios and testing, conducting the automated testing, or process mining through these autopilot features. So let's first see what is autopilot as an assistant or autopilot assistant. And I'm particularly excited about Autopilot Assistant. Uh, it's your ultimate desktop partner. It doesn't help. It doesn't just help you brainstorm content like many other AI tools. Autopilot helps you take automated actions. You can use Autopilot for assistant for everything from ordering my go to Subway lunch order or to automate the travel expenses process. So Autopilot for Assistant is an AI companion that helps you tackle your daily tasks. It securely blends the best of generative AI and specialized AI to work with a variety of tasks and documents and take real action. It can discover and run existing automations from your company. It can also use these as building blocks and stringing them together to accomplish advanced actions. When there is no pre-built automation for what you're trying to get done, it can use AI to create new ones on the fly. So as you go through your day, Autopilot understands your work context. So you can easily get guidance to automate tasks across web and desktop apps. Moreover, Autopilot learns from your previous interactions and recommends the next steps it can take to complete your task. Let's suppose you need to prepare for a customer meeting, find new sales leads, or onboard new hires. Simply write your request in a chat, and Autopilot will start working on it, confirming steps with you along the way. So, Autopilot is equipped with machine learning based document understanding capabilities too, and it can reduce manual steps for all types of documents. Just drop your file to Autopilot's chat window, and whether it is a passport or resume or screenshot, Autopilot extracts and analyzes relevant informations uh, to help you complete your task. Now, let's see our first demo of today's webinar. So here now you can see on your left part of the screen, there is this event that I want to plan for going through Autopilot. And some part of it is in Japanese. Let's see Autopilot, how it consumes that. So um, what I'll do, I'll just copy paste the or drag and drop the screenshot of this page and say help plan a trip. And the autopilot, it's trying to understand the page, translating it if required, and preparing a list of items that I have to do in order to plan for this travel. So computer vision is understanding and reading, and in order to plan it, it is going through my employee's personal role and company policy. And since I need to travel internationally, I'll have to provide my passport. I just drag and drop the passport, and it is able to understand that it's not valid, or it is about to expire, even if it is the case. And it will direct me to open a ServiceNow ticket by itself, so that the travel department of my company can take care of the issue and renew my passport. Um, so ServiceNow ticket automation was already developed through UiPath, and it was able to interact with it and trigger it and fill the forms on my behalf for passport renewal. Now, next thing, I want to figure out which of my customers are attending this event. So an automation will interact through integration services with Markeda, the application on which the registrations are, and s- also interact with our Salesforce to match the accounts that we have and see which of these customers I should be meeting at and make a list for me. So it is interacting with ServiceNow as well as Salesforce as well as Marketa or whatever the application is taking care of the attendees. Now it is able to interact with the Slack channels to send um, assign tasks for my team to take care of the customers I will be meeting, and maybe uh, work on some meetings on the side with them. One more thing, I need to be able to have a hotel accommodation. So it is taking my information right here and taking care of the hotel accommodation as well. So it will do whatever is required in my company to travel and make the accommodation available for me. So it is filling those forms, creating everything that is required, and getting done with all of the requirements for my travel. Now let's see how Autopilot can help developers. So Autopilot for developers is also the Autopilot for Studio Web, and Autopilot for Studio enhances productivity of developers of all kinds by allowing them to move from natural language to actual code. Just describe what you want to build as closely as possible, and Studio Web will build out the skeleton workflow to allow you to get started quickly. All that remains is for you to connect to various systems and accounts and make best use of the APIs available. What is envisioned for the future is a set of tools that allow you to get started fast, like text to workflow. This transforms descriptions easily into automation workflows, reducing complexity, particularly for non-technical users. Text to expressions generates expressions using natural language descriptions, allowing developers to focus on problem at hand rather than syntax. And allowing automated code generation directly transforms descriptions into code-based automations. So UiPath Autopilot is kind of like a buddy for those who aren't coding experts but still want to dive into automation. Instead of sweating over programming skills, they can focus on fine tuning processes. Autopilot handles the technical side, like setting things up for automation. This makes it easier for more folks to jump into automation without feeling overwhelmed by the coding stuff. It's all about making automation more inclusive, user friendly, everyone involved, and faster to automate with. Now, let's see a demo of how UiPath's Autopilot can help developers. So here's the interface of UiPath Automation Cloud, and there are a couple of very important features here, including the integration services that UiPath offers. Here you can see a lot of different connectors are pre-built and already available. You can just choose and connect with those applications very easily. Um, you can search for a specific connector, and there are ways to develop these connectors also. Uh, Here are some of the connectors that I have connected for my automations, and we can use these in our demo also. Um, Now, getting towards the studio, the web studio that UiPath has, and this is where we will. Let's clear the filters. You can see this use autopilot to generate your automation. I click here, and now I can put a prompt, type a prompt with which I want to create an automation. So there are some examples here that you can see, like extract data from new invoice file in Google Drive and store it to Google Sheets. So it will read the invoice from Google Drives, and re- whatever it has extracted from the invoices, it will put in Google Sheets. Summarize new Gmail email using OpenAI and share summary via Slack. So you can understand what it will do. And let me put a custom prompt that I created. And it is to create an automation that downloads email PDF attachment invoices uh, and logs in SAP Coupa to put invoices into it. After this, also update status of the related Salesforce account. So I'll submit this, and it will understand the prompt and move towards. creating an automation with it. So it is you using already available LLMs in the market, and because I did not specifically stated that which email I want to use, so it assumed that I'm using Outlook. I can write Gmail here, and it can create automation around that. So look at this; it has created certain steps that this automation is supposed to do all these things. And let's move this automation to Studio. And where we can see the entire automation developed by UiPath Autopilot on the fly. So the basic structure it already had created, that we just reviewed, and now it's creating the entire code flow. So it's here for us. Since I already had a connector made for Outlook, it is using that particular connector, and started using it, as you can see here, to read the emails from the inbox. I can tweak it, change the folder if I want to see something else. I can put my own filters here if I have any specific filters in mind to get the right emails. And reading these emails, it since I wrote that I need to log into SAP Coupa and put these invoices there, it is making blocks for them, but it is showing errors also because I haven't made any connectors in the past with SAP Coupa. So it is asking me to connect a SAP Coupa instance, and I can just click here. It can take me to the interface where I can provide these client ID, secret, and scope to connect with a specific instance of Coupa. And since I already had worked with Salesforce in the past, it is using the same instance to put this new detail into the Salesforce. So here you can see that it has created the automation by itself based on a text prompt that I gave. Okay, I'm not saving it, just going back, going to templates again, clicking this, and let's see one of the samples that they have given, that extract the latest 100 emails from Gmail from current month and create a Google Sheet report with the sender and subject. Okay, let's click on this and let it build an automation for this. So it is, uh, yeah, so here it is. You can see the flow already made, and I can see this in Studio, and it will create the entire automation for me. And if I want to make any changes into it, I can just add more steps, maybe consume some other file also, maybe write it to some other system. So all that I can do here just by adding this, like let's suppose I want to put something in CSV file. So I'll do this, it will show me, okay, what I need to do with the CSV. I don't want to read, I want to output data table as text and put it in a CSV, and just do this, and then specify what I want to write and where I want to write. So it's totally editable, whatever Autopilot has created. Now let's see the next Autopilot, that's called Autopilot for Apps. So Autopilot for Apps empowers developers to create app interfaces and expressions using everyday language, documents, or images. So developers or even citizen developers can express their design intentions textually or visually, leading to diverse and user-friendly interface designs. Furthermore, the opportunity to generate expressions across all apps ensures a unified and accelerated development process. So let's understand it by a demo. As a partnerships director at a company, someone regularly onboards vendors into different systems and provide information on this paper form and put that into Salesforce and put a notification for my team in Slack also. That takes like 4 to 5 minutes. So let's see how Autopilot can do this. So I'll just digitize the form, just load it to the Autopilot. Autopilot for apps can consume screenshots, text prompts, PDF like this one, and use UiPath document understanding to understand the documents. And on the fly, it created this form, and it can be part of the automation. And on the submit button, we can see all the entity that it will submit the text data to. So to enter this data into relevant line of business system, I'll ask it to generate description with OpenAI and create a new account in Salesforce and notify and me and my team on Slack channels. So Autopilot for Studio is using a combination of connections already made to interact with all these applications and build a workflow around that. So even citizen developer can make this automation like this. And look at this. Now I'm taking it to the studio and the automation is there. It connects with Salesforce, Slack, GPT, and everything is there. So I just realized I need to send a vendor to the NetSuite also. So let me change this flow and make NetSuite based interaction also. So so first piece is to target what selectors I'll be using, and this is the application I'll be interacting with. And I'm adding a prompt that I just need to add new vendor and all the details here. So it knows what details it has fetched already in the flow, and it will on the fly understand and put the selectors for different. Look at this. It has populated the activities for putting the information in the right fields. I can review it and get done with it. So I'm just verifying if phone number is correctly entered into the form. So I just and I'm going trying to find the phone number activity and I'm not sure how to format the string, so I can ask Autopilot to help me format the string that can help me format the phone number so that I always get the phone numbers in my destination application in the right format. So I'm specifying that this is how I want to see it, and Autopilot will create the string. I don't need to Google it every time I want to make a string. Now let's see how Autopilot can help testers. So Autopilot for Test Suite accelerates every phase of the testing lifecycle. It can generate tests from requirements, generate code from comments, and service actionable insights from execution results. So let's take a look at a demo. Now let me briefly show you how you can create and automate test cases with Test Suite using AI. It's one of my project here. You can see it's a web application automation project. So there are a couple of requirements you can see in the requirement section, and and you can see the user stories here and acceptance criteria listed by the product manager. And I'll just click generate test cases, and analyzing the requirement, the UiPath will create test cases. So it's a list of test cases based on the requirements, and I can customize also. I can change, I can select certain requirements that I want to go through, and I can give it documents, like you can see some the design document and application document. It can read those documents to create further test cases, or I can write custom text about a specific aspect of the application, or functional aspects, or performance aspect, or security aspect, and it will create test cases around those also. So here you can see some test cases are here, and it is also listed with the right requirement. So each test case is based on a requirement, and this is one of them you can see here. And there are manual step by step instructions created for the execution of each test case. And now here you can see on the studio, that is linked with the same orchestrator. These test cases are already downloaded here and ready to be tested. So I just right clicked and click create, and you can see the coded automation is also created. Multiple parts of this test case is, you can see, as part of a code comments, but I can create code of all these comments also. So I just right click and generate code, and the studio will write code for it. So only that aspect of the test automation is also now automated. So I can not only generate the test cases, I can also automate those test cases for automated testing. Now, let's see that most of the time we have covered the autopilot that UiPath has offered, but the Automation Anywhere's Copilot has also similar functionality, more or less. And you can create automations with natural language. You can improve processes with next uh, best actions, ensure effectiveness in every automation. So developers and business users can quickly generate new processes through natural language prompts, and orchestrate across bots, APIs, generative AI models, and documents and forms. And Automation Copilot offers suggestions and additional actions to make every automation even better. And built-in governance allows you to set code guidelines and require reviews for every new automation before it goes live. So today, for the attendees, we are offering 1 week's free consultation with the assessment of their processes and generation of POC. This is how generally a jumpstart package looks like when an engagement with our customer starts. We are open to have customized packages with you, but this is like we help our customers in reviewing their processes that are there for automation, the candidate processes, how fit they are, what kind of ROI you can get out of them, and assess them for best results. Thank you very much. Now I'm waiting here for a while to see if we have any questions.